What do you think's not talked about enough that's important?
The number one thing I think that people don't talk about is the lack of seriousness that people often approach their projects and entire companies with. And let me explain what I mean by that.
Yeah.
Everybody kind of knows that what you're supposed to do, and actually what Tina did at New, is come up with a thesis and then go out and talk to a whole bunch of people who you believe have the problem, and then refine that thesis and then present that thesis back to them as in the form of a solution. And then when you get approval, when you get their buy-in, build it, right?
Hmm.
I have never done that. Like until I came to New, it's always been, and then we talk about it famously, pivoting,
Right.
right? Pivoting. Pivoting is what is the polite explanation for you wasted millions of dollars of somebody else's money doing the wrong thing. And because we because what we do is so hard,
Right.
and if you don't love it, don't do it. But what we do is so hard that people have to create a psychological, you know, explanation for what you're doing and make it positive in some way that you're pivoting, right? But what you actually did was you just burned millions of dollars of somebody else's money. So I think that when we see what makes companies go really well, and this goes back to your pausing thing, is people aren't in. They are, of course, intentional. Like what they're not intentional the way Tina's intentional. Like they're not the way. And so I lead this company, but I'm under no illusion that that I am the only driver of value or some, come down from on high and run this company. I've got an amazing company because we have amazingly intentional people. And there's a bunch of people in our company who literally, when offered a problem, will go to the data and do it. And there are a bunch of people in our company who don't do that, right? And what we have to sort of talk about is that those are different ways of solving problems. And it's not that one way is uniquely good and the other one is uniquely bad. It's actually they're good in different situations. But I think in our community generally, we don't really pay enough. We pay lip service, but not enough respect to the think it through very carefully before you start
Right.
part.
Right. Right.
If you understand what I mean, because basically people
Yeah.
go, like go back to the fire, fire, aim, ready,
Yeah.
like that thing. That's a different modality. So you definitely don't want salespeople. Well, you definitely don't want SMB salespeople or early salespeople who have to plan everything before they do anything because they'll never get
Right.
anything done. You
Right.
sure as hell want enterprise salespeople who plan the living daylights out of it. If you're going after multi-million-dollar contracts, you better know like where their children. No, children go to school would be creepy, but you know what I mean. Like you need to know everything about them because you don't know which is going to be relevant and you're building a value framework. And so
Yeah.
this is a good example. I don't think we give enough respect to the companies that or to the process steps companies should be doing to stop and go, okay, what are we doing? Why are we doing it? Is there any evidence for that?
Yep.